Oh, hey everybody. How you doing? It's Mr. E saying hello, howdy, and what's up? Well, yesterday made a video saying I want to be your president. Uh, got 6 months to make a case, and here goes. Let's get this right, and let's get this done. Today's little topic, taxes. That's right, the T word, not Texas, taxes. You know, that 5-letter word that the government loves to browbeat us with in order to get some money, and if we don't give it to them, they send us to jail. You know, they tax us to the hilt, and they enjoy it. And they spend it like nothing else, so that, that doesn't sit well with me, and it probably doesn't sit well with many of you either. Spend it on the wrong things, the wrong people. Give people pensions they don't deserve, give people benefits they don't deserve, give people welfare that they don't deserve. Therefore, spending needs to be cut. But that is something that will be on the next video. Be on a later episode. For right now, we're going to do taxes, because my plan, as it sits, simple, effective, straightforward. I have three taxes that I want to institute, that I would like to institute, and I would like your help in instituting if I can. First, tax, import-export tax, 10% across the board. Doesn't matter what size or shipment you have, 10% income tax or 10% excise tax, import-export tax, whatever you want to call it, it's going to get levied. If it goes out, it's taxed. If it comes in, it's taxed. We should be able to be self-sufficient, and I would encourage every single government around the world that if you don't like the tax that we're about to do this for yourself as well, because I'll guarantee you'll see a hell of a lot more growth than what you've got going on right now. You might actually get a number of your own people to stick around and give a benefit to your country rather than them trying to come here to ours and benefit us as well. We love your benefit, but I want to see everybody on this world prosper, not just a few people. So, taxes. Import-export, 10% across the board. Fair, simple, easy. And again, if you want to comment, you want to voice your concerns, please put them on the Facebook, please put them on my YouTube, and I'll get to you if I can, because time, depending on what's going on, is of the essence. So, we got import-export, 10%. Next, tax. Corporate income, 10% across the board. No difference, no differentiations, no nothing. Straight up 10% across the board. Across the board. No deductions either. I'm sure many of you within corporate land will probably be sitting there going, no deductions? Why? We love those deductions. Yeah, I know you do. And that's part of the problem. Those deductions, unless you've got a team of accountants, a team of lawyers, a team of researchers, and GE, the company that didn't pay a dime in taxes this last year, yeah, they know all about how to do that. They know all about how to get those deductions and make sure that they don't have to pay any. So guess what? Those deductions that those people who have millions and millions of dollars to go perusing through the tax code to get billions off of their taxes, it's not happening anymore. Everybody's going to get treated equally, and that means you too. So, 10% corporate income tax. Across the board, flat tax. No difference, no bullshit. Now, personal income tax. Well, guess what? We're going to stick with the theme here. We're going to go 10% again, flat tax across the board. Why? Fairness. Absolute, total, unequivocal fairness. Why? Ladies and gentlemen, I have never made more than $30,000 in my life a year. Never. You can tell. Or maybe you can't, I don't know. But either way it goes, I've worked with a lot of people who live at or below or a little bit above the poverty line. And I can tell you from personal experience that most of those people making around 30 grand don't understand why anybody would want to make more. Because they get taxed more. Because taxes are a disincentive. They're not an incentive, they're a disincentive. I mean, all you have to do is think about cigarette taxes. What are cigarette taxes justified as? They're justified as a way to get people to stop smoking. It's a disincentive to get people to stop smoking. The higher the tax, the more the disincentive. Well, guess what? If you're getting nailed for 30% on the feds, and you're getting nailed for almost 30% on the state, well, guess what? They're yanking 60% of your income for taxes. You really want to have, say you're only making $100,000 a year, you really only want 40 grand left over after the feds get a hold of you and the state? Do you really? You really like that idea? 40 grand out of 100 grand. And for those thinking, well, they're just making money. Well, think about it. That person that just made 100 grand, they're now in the same income bracket, or not income bracket or tax bracket, but income level as those people who are making $50,000 a year and paying the taxes on that. Isn't that cute? What incentive is there to make money if the tax rate is so high that you don't want to make money? That's why rich people leave in droves when you raise their taxes. Oregon, perfect example. This last year we made a tax hike on millionaires and high-income people to try and get our revenues raised. Guess what? Our revenues dropped. How funny is that? Our revenues dropped because our tax rates went up. Even though the people in the, I-5 Beltway seem to think that everybody with money is just going to give it away willingly. It doesn't happen that way, ladies and gentlemen. You got money, you want to keep it. And you sure the hell ain't going to want to give it to a government that screws you off. It gives it to somebody who doesn't deserve it. And I'll give you an example of somebody who doesn't deserve it. This is why the welfare state in this country is screwed up. And this isn't just one example. I'm sure you can go down to the grocery store and find a whole bunch more like these. But the one example I got for you, here you go. I go grocery shopping at the local grocery store. I'm in line, just got off work, there to pick up a bottle of wine, chill, have a good night after work. And I'm in line getting groceries, for myself. And in front of me is this family of four, nicely clothed, looking decent, and they've got an entire grocery cart filled with groceries, about $300 worth, a little over $300. They whip out the welfare card, they slide that motherfucker through, and guess what? They only have to pay out of their pocket for $10. And of course they're bitching about it. Now, I'm a little irritated because of course I realize that that's $300 of my tax money to the state of Oregon that just went down the drain to somebody who probably doesn't need it. So I'm a little irritated about that, and looking at the guy at the register going, man, what a crock. And I was like, man, that must be so nice. It must be so nice to not have to pay for your own stuff. Get somebody else to pay for it for you. And they're like, yeah. So I'm like, okay, grab my stuff, walk out the door. There they are. The nicely clothed family of four loading $300 of groceries into a car. If it was a beater, might have been okay with it. I would have been a little bit more understanding. If it would have been a semi-used car, probably would have been just as irritated, if not a little bit more so, because, let's face it, if they can, afford to clothe themselves like that and drive around in a semi-decent car, they can probably afford to pay for their own groceries. But they're not in a beater. They're not in a semi-decent car or even a used car. They're in a brand new, with the factory stickers still on them from the dealership, brand new Subaru. So they're impeccably dressed, brand new car, family of 4, getting welfare for stuff that they can afford themselves. Obviously, because if they can afford a $500 car payment, they can afford to buy their own fucking groceries. And that's why I look at the welfare system, the welfare state, government-instituted socialism, and say wrong. You know, get people on an equal footing, equal plane tax system. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The disincentive to make money has been removed. All you have to do every year is put down on a little piece of paper about this big that says how much money I made, how much they took, is it the right amount? Yes? Don't have to worry about sending or getting money back. No? You have to worry about sending or getting money back or in. It's simple. It's simple. And those 3 taxes, import-export, corporate, personal, 10% across the board, fairness for all, means you no longer have to worry about the feds coming into your pocket, reaching into your cookie jar, taking everything from it, and never putting anything back. Because let's face it, that's what the government does. Very rarely does it actually provide anything other than welfarism, socialism, and hypocrisy. You know, very rarely does it provide anything other than those 3 things. So, what I am suggesting, and again, we're going to go through a lot of different things, because like I said, we've got 6 months. We've got 6 months to prove that I have the plans and I have the ability necessary to do this. 6 months. And again, this is taxes. Personal, corporate, import-export. 10% across the board. Everybody's equal. Nobody gets deductions. Fairness. Fairness. That's what it's about, ladies and gentlemen. Fairness. If the law is equal, the taxes are equal, the people will start acting equal. And maybe we can stop the whining, the griping, the bitching, the pissing, the moaning, the groaning about inequality on every single level. If we start with the tax code and we work our way across the board, we can make the system equal again for everybody. We can take the shackles off of each other, we can take the shackles off of our minds, our economic state, and we can be prosperous once again. So again, got a long way to go. Got a long way to go. And this is just the first step. It's just the first step. So taxes, once again, 10% across the board. No ifs, ands, or buts. No deductions for anybody. Personal, corporate, import, export. Those 3 tax structures will give us, I would say, probably around $1 trillion in tax revenue every year. Give or take a little bit. But, you know, the personal income, I figured it out to be somewhere around 500 to 600 billion. I would imagine the corporate would be somewhere around that percentage, that amount as well. And I would imagine that the import-export should put us at or near $1 trillion, if not more. That's my idea for the taxes. Again, if you have any issues, comments, questions, concerns, please leave them here on my YouTube channel or on my Facebook page. I'll have the link in it in my YouTube comments. But for now, this is Mr. E saying thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Hope you stuck through it. And again, 6 more months to go to make a case that I can do the job better than the other guys can. So we're going to do what we can. Thank you once again, folks. Peace and enjoy.